In the year 1980, the United States Mint was continuing a tradition that had been in place for decades, the striking of the Washington quarter dollar coin. The Washington quarter had first been introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of the first President of the United States, George Washington. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter, which had been in circulation since 1916 and quickly became a staple of American coinage. By 1980, this design had been in production for nearly half a century, and the minting process had evolved with changes in materials technology and national economics. The 1980 P Mint mark Washington quarter holds a special place in the history of American coins. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which was the first United States mint facility established in 1792 and the main production center for a large portion of circulating coinage. For many years, quarters produced in Philadelphia carried no mint mark at all, but in 1980 a new policy required the inclusion of the P Mint mark on quarters. This change was a significant moment for collectors because it marked the very first year that the Philadelphia Mint marked its quarters with the letter P. This small letter, positioned on the obverse of the coin just to the right of Washington's ponytail, gave the 1980 P quarter a place in numismatic history. The obverse design of the 1980 P Washington quarter features a left-facing portrait of George Washington sculpted by John Flanagan, who based his work on Jean-Antoine Houdon's famous bust of Washington. The word Liberty is boldly inscribed above Washington's head, and the national motto "In God We Trust" is placed to the left. The year 1980 is positioned directly below the portrait. On the reverse of the coin is the powerful heraldic eagle design, also created by John Flanagan. The eagle with wings spread sits on a bundle of arrows with two olive branches beneath, symbolizing a balance of strength and peace. The words United States of America arc across the top, and the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. The phrase E pluribus unum is inscribed between the eagle and the word America, reminding the public of the motto meaning out of many one. The composition of the 1980 P Washington quarter is copper nickel clad with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of copper nickel alloy. This composition was first adopted in 1965 when silver was removed from circulating quarters due to rising silver prices. The clad design allowed the mint to produce quarters more cost-effectively while still giving them the silvery appearance the public was accustomed to. In 1980, millions of quarters were struck for circulation, but not all coins survived in pristine condition over the decades, and that is where the story of rarity and value begins. The vast majority of 1980 P Washington quarters found in pocket change today are worn from years of use and have little value beyond their face denomination. However, a tiny fraction of these coins were struck under perfect conditions and have been preserved without ever entering circulation. These high-grade examples, known as mint state or MS coins, are the ones sought after by collectors. The value of a coin depends heavily on its condition, with higher grades commanding dramatically higher prices. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale, with MS 60 being the lowest uncirculated grade and MS 70 being a flawless coin. In the case of the 1980 P Washington quarter, finding one in MS 68 or higher is incredibly rare. Over the years, coin auctions have revealed just how much collectors are willing to pay for the finest examples of this coin. A record-setting 1980 P Washington quarter graded at an exceptionally high level sold for an astounding $39,745. This price was driven by the combination of historical significance, being the first year of the P Mint mark on a quarter, the stunning preservation of the coin, and strong demand from serious numismatists. Such a sale is a reminder that even modern coins from the late 20th century can achieve remarkable value when rarity and quality intersect. Understanding why such coins become valuable requires a deeper look into the minting process. Even in modern high-speed minting operations, minor variations can occur. The quality of the blank planchet, the precision of the die strike, and the condition of the dies themselves all affect the final product. A perfectly centered strike with sharp details, no visible contact marks, and an attractive original luster is much harder to achieve than most people realize. While millions of 1980 P quarters were produced, only a microscopic fraction meet these standards and survive untouched for decades. Collectors of Washington quarters appreciate the 1980 P issue not just for its role in marking a new era with the Philadelphia Mint mark, but also for the challenge it represents in building a complete high-grade set. Many Washington quarter collections span the entire series from 1932 through the modern state quarter program, and the 1980p often serves as a key modern date in top condition. The difficulty of finding one without blemishes adds to its allure. To put the rarity into perspective, imagine looking through thousands of bank-wrapped rolls of quarters. Each roll contains 40 coins, which means you would need to examine tens of thousands of coins to have even a slim chance of finding one that might grade MS68 or higher. The odds are so low that most collectors choose to acquire such coins through specialized dealers or auction houses rather than searching change in circulation. Yet stories still circulate in the hobby community of lucky individuals who discover mint state coins in old collections or forgotten hoards. In addition to condition, there are other factors that can influence the value of a 1980p Washington quarter. Certain error varieties can add significant premiums. Errors might include doubled dies, where elements of the design are duplicated due to die misalignment, off-center strikes where the design is not properly centered on the planchet, or coins struck on the wrong type of planchet altogether. These mint errors are rare and are highly collectible on their own. In the case of the 1980p quarter, major errors in high grade can fetch prices far beyond even the already impressive $39,740. $5 record. The popularity of Washington quarters has only grown over the years, partly due to the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999, which brought millions of new casual collectors into the hobby. Many of these new enthusiasts became interested in earlier issues, including those from the 1980s. The appeal of the Washington quarter lies in its elegant design, its connection to American history, and the thrill of the hunt for valuable examples. The 1980p stands out as a coin that bridges the gap between older classic issues and modern commemorative designs today. The 1980p Washington quarter continues to be a coin that inspires fascination among collectors and historians alike. Its combination of historical firsts, minting artistry, and the potential for extraordinary value makes it a prime example of why coin collecting endures as a rewarding pursuit, whether displayed in a museum, showcased in a private collection, or carefully stored in a protective holder. The finest examples of this coin represent a tangible piece of history preserved in metal. For those who wish to own one of these treasures, the journey often begins with education, learning how to grade coins, how to identify original surfaces, and how to spot signs of cleaning or alteration is essential to making wise purchases. Collectors also need to be aware of market trends, as the value of rare coins can fluctuate over time depending on economic conditions and collector demand. Reputable dealers' coin shows and online auction platforms are the primary venues where top-grade 1980p Washington quarters appear for sale. The story of the 1980p Washington quarter is ultimately a story about the intersection of history, craftsmanship, and the human desire to preserve beauty and rarity. From its introduction during a period of change in U.S. minting policy to its status as a highly coveted modern rarity, this coin embodies the enduring appeal of numismatics. The fact that a small disc of copper nickel struck more than 4 decades ago can be worth nearly $40,000 is a testament to the passion and dedication of collectors worldwide. In conclusion, the 1980p mint mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a piece of change. It is a milestone in minting history, a work of art in miniature, and for a fortunate few, a significant financial asset. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or a newcomer to the hobby, the story of this coin offers a fascinating glimpse into the world of rare and valuable coins, and it serves as a reminder that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places, even in the change you hold in your hand today. The story of the 1988 mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin is one that begins in the heart of the United States mint's history and stretches back to the early decades of the 20th century when the Washington quarter was first conceived. To understand the value and significance of the 1988 mint mark quarter, we must first explore the origins of the Washington quarter itself, because without knowing where it came from and why it was designed, the rarity and market appeal of this coin today cannot be fully appreciated. The Washington quarter series was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The coin was meant to replace the standing Liberty quarter, and the design featured a left-facing profile of George Washington based on the famous bust sculpted by Jean-Antoine Houdon. The obverse carried the simple but bold image of the first president, while the reverse carried a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and an olive branch symbolizing both strength and peace. This design would remain in use for decades with only minor adjustments, and it became one of the most recognizable pieces of United States coinage. By the time the year 1988 arrived, the Washington quarter had already seen more than 50 years of circulation and countless strikes at various mint facilities. The Denver Mint, which is represented by the D Mint mark on coins, had been responsible for producing billions of quarters over the years. The 1988 D Mint mark Washington quarter was struck primarily in copper nickel-clad composition, which was the standard since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating quarters due to rising metal costs. However, despite being a modern clad coin, certain examples from 1988 have captured the attention of collectors due to their exceptional condition, their striking errors, and their extremely rare high-grade status. When we talk about the 1988 D Washington quarter in terms of collectability, we must focus on several factors. The first factor is mintage. In 1988, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, which means that finding a basic circulated example is not difficult. You can often find these coins in pocket change to this very day. But finding one in pristine uncirculated condition, especially one graded at the highest levels by professional coin grading services, is a completely different challenge. Only a very small number of these coins have survived in such flawless condition that they command incredible prices in the open market. The second factor is condition rarity. Coins are graded on a numerical scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect flawless coin. The majority of 1988 D quarters in circulation have wear marks, scratches, and surface damage from decades of handling. But those that were preserved from the moment of striking, kept in protective packaging or mint sets, and never touched by human hands, have the potential to achieve grades like MS68 or even MS69, and this is where the real value lies. The third factor is errors and varieties. The Denver Mint, like all mints, has had occasional production errors that slip through quality control. Some 1988 D quarters exhibit double die features, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or other unusual anomalies that make them highly desirable to collectors. These errors are rare, and when combined with superb condition, the result can be a coin worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Now let us dive into the market history of this coin. While a typical circulated 1988 D quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, certain gem uncirculated or error specimens have sold for astounding sums at auction. Over the years, prices for top quality examples have steadily increased as collectors recognize the difficulty of finding such coins. One of the most notable sales involved a pristine mint state 1988 D Washington quarter graded at the absolute top of the scale, which sold for a staggering $67,789. This price shocked many casual observers because they could not imagine a modern clad quarter commanding such a sum, but seasoned numismatists understood the rarity of the coin's perfection. Why would a collector pay such a high amount for a coin that originally had no silver content and was minted in such large quantities? The answer lies in the principle of supply and demand combined with the prestige of owning a top pop coin. Top pop refers to a coin that is the finest known example for its date and mint mark. When there are only a handful of coins in existence at that level of quality, the competition among serious collectors can drive prices into the stratosphere. Owning the best known example is a matter of pride and investment potential for these collectors, and they are willing to bid aggressively to secure it. The 1988 D Mint mark Washington quarter also holds an interesting place in American coinage history because it represents a period of transition. In the late 1980s, the United States Mint was refining its minting technology, improving die preparation, and experimenting with slightly different finishes for proof and mint set coins. This means that certain 1988 D quarters exhibit sharper details and more lustrous surfaces than others. When these enhanced strikes are preserved perfectly, they can be breathtaking to behold under magnification, showing every feather in the eagle's wings and every hair in Washington's portrait with crystal clarity. For collectors, the hunt for a perfect 1988 D quarter can be a long and challenging journey. Many start by examining mint sets from 1988 purchased from estate sales or old collections. Others search through bulk coin rolls obtained from banks or coin dealers, hoping to spot that one coin that somehow avoided the ravages of circulation. The thrill of discovery is part of what makes coin collecting so addictive. Even if you never find a top-graded example, the process of searching teaches you about the artistry and history of United States coinage. From an investment perspective, the 1988 D quarter in top grade has proven to be a strong performer. Over the past 2 decades, the value of the highest grade examples has generally risen, outpacing inflation and attracting attention from investors outside the traditional coin collecting world. These investors see rare coins as tangible assets that can diversify a portfolio, much like fine art, rare stamps, or vintage automobiles. Of course, investing in coins requires knowledge and careful selection because not every coin will appreciate in value, but for those who focus on the finest known examples, the potential rewards can be substantial. The cultural significance of the Washington quarter should not be overlooked either. As a coin that has been in circulation for generations, it is a familiar object to millions of Americans. It carries the image of the nation's founding father and serves as a daily reminder of the country's heritage. For those who grew up in the 1980s, the 1988 D quarter may also evoke personal memories from childhood, whether it was receiving one as change at a corner store or saving quarters to play arcade games. This nostalgic connection adds another layer to its appeal for certain collectors. In conclusion, the story of the 1988 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is one of contrast. On one hand, it is a common modern clad coin that can still be found in circulation, worth only its face value in most cases. On the other hand, in the rarest, highest grade conditions, it transforms into a coveted treasure capable of fetching nearly $68,000 at auction. This dramatic difference in value underscores the importance of condition, rarity, and collector demand in the world of numismatics. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, the 1988 D quarter serves as a perfect example of how even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value when preserved in perfect form. So the next time you find a quarter in your pocket, take a moment to look closely, because you never know when you might be holding a small piece of history worth far more than you ever imagine. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after pieces in modern American coinage history, the 1996 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. This coin may look like an ordinary 25-cent piece to the casual observer, but for numismatists, collectors, and history enthusiasts, it represents a rich blend of artistry, economic history, and the rare chance to own a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. As we peel back the layers of its history, you will see how a quarter minted in Denver in 1996 could be worth an astounding $80,725 in the current collector's market. The Washington quarter itself has a long and storied past. The series began in 1932 as a commemoration of the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features the now iconic profile of the first president of the United States. His image was carefully modeled to reflect strength, dignity, and the timeless leadership qualities for which Washington was known. The reverse of the Washington quarter for many decades displayed an eagle with outstretched wings clutching a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, symbolizing both the readiness to defend freedom and the desire for peace. This design remained largely unchanged from its debut until the late 1990s, making the 1996 D quarter part of the final era before the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. 1996 The United States Mint in Denver, Colorado struck millions of Washington quarters. The D Mint mark, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail, indicates its origin from the Denver facility. The Denver Mint is known for high-quality, striking, and durable circulation coins, but not all 1996 D quarters are created equal. While most are common and worth face value in everyday commerce, there are rare examples that stand out due to pristine condition, unusual minting circumstances, or extraordinary errors. What makes certain 1996 D Washington quarters command such incredible prices comes down to a combination of rarity, grade, and collector demand. A standard quarter from that year will be found in millions of pockets and cash drawers, but a coin graded by a professional grading service at the absolute top of the quality scale for circulation strikes can attract fierce bidding wars in auction houses. Imagine a 1996 D quarter with a perfect or near perfect mint state 68 or higher grade. These coins show no signs of wear, possess a sharp strike with full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers and display brilliant luster under magnification. Such coins are the elite survivors from a massive mintage and are nearly impossible to find in circulation today. Another factor that boosts the value of some 1990-60 quarters to staggering heights is the presence of minting errors. Mint errors are accidental and can take many forms, including double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or striking on the wrong metal planchet. An error on a coin in pristine condition from 1990-60 could make it one of a kind, and collectors will pay top dollar for the opportunity to own something truly unique. There have been examples of coins from the 1990s fetching tens of thousands at auction simply due to a dramatic and visually striking error. Now let us step back for a moment and consider the broader historical context of 1996. The mid-1990s were a period of economic growth in the United States. The internet was in its infancy. Bill Clinton was president. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was climbing, and people still used cash for most daily transactions. The Washington quarter remained a workhorse of American currency, used in vending machines, payphones, laundromats, and countless transactions. It is remarkable to think that among the countless coins changing hands in 1996, some would go on to become prized treasures worth more than most cars today. For coin collectors, the thrill is in the hunt, searching through rolls of quarters from the bank, attending coin shows, networking with other collectors, and scanning online auction listings are all part of the journey. Every once in a while, a collector might stumble upon a coin that appears ordinary, but under the trained eye reveals itself to be extraordinary. That is the dream scenario with the 1990-60 Washington quarter. The odds are slim, but the reward can be life-changing. Professional coin grading plays a huge role in establishing and confirming a coin's market value. Organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Company have set rigorous standards for evaluating coins. They assess strike quality, luster, coloration, surface preservation, and any unusual characteristics. If a 1990-60 quarter is submitted to one of these services and receives an ultra-high mint state grade combined with eye appeal, it immediately moves from pocket change to prized investment. The record auction prices for 1990-60 quarters reflect this combination of rarity and quality. One specimen in absolutely flawless condition with full detail and perfect surfaces sold for an astounding $80,725. This sale stunned many in the coin collecting world, but also served as a reminder that modern coins in exceptional condition can command vintage coin prices. It is important to note that not every 1990-60 quarter will have such a high value. In fact, most will be worth only face value or slightly above. For uncirculated examples found in mint sets, the difference lies in the minute details. Only the sharpest eyes can distinguish a standard quarter from one with extraordinary strike sharpness and flawless surfaces. This is why experienced collectors invest in magnifying tools, coin books, and attend grading seminars. The more you learn about what to look for, the higher your chances of finding a hidden gem. The artistry of the Washington quarter design in 1996 also deserves appreciation. The Flanagan design, while simple, carries with it decades of tradition and symbolism. The fine detail in Washington's hair, the clear lettering, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers all speak to the skill of the engravers and the precision of the minting process. Holding a pristine 1990-60 quarter in hand is not just holding a piece of metal, but holding a piece of American history. Collectors also cherish the story behind the coin. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906 and is one of the largest producers of coinage in the world. Every coin that leaves the facility passes through multiple stages of preparation, from blanking and annealing the metal planchets to striking with immense pressure under carefully monitored conditions. The journey from raw metal to shiny quarter is itself an engineering marvel. In recent years, the value of high-grade 1990-60 quarters has continued to rise, driven by a combination of scarcity and increasing collector interest. As more people discover the hobby of numismatics, competition for the best examples has intensified. This means that coins once considered just nice uncirculated examples are now being scrutinized for even higher grading potential. The market for such coins is dynamic and prices can spike quickly, especially after record-breaking auction results. For anyone interested in pursuing this treasure hunt, the first step is education. Learn the characteristics of the 1990-60 quarter. Familiarize yourself with what a high-grade example looks like. Compare it to lower-grade examples and understand the role of luster and strike. Collect rolls or mint sets from 1996 and begin examining them under bright light with magnification. Document your finds and consider submitting your best examples for professional grading. Networking with other collectors can open up opportunities to buy, sell, or trade coins that might not be publicly available. The story of the 1996 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is a reminder that even in the modern era, extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight. What started as a simple piece of change in the hands of millions has in rare cases transformed into a numismatic treasure worth over $80,000. The combination of history, artistry, rarity, and collector passion ensures that the legend of the 1996 D quarter will endure for decades to come. So the next time you hold a quarter, take a closer look. You never know if that coin could be part of a remarkable story that blends the rich heritage of American coinage with the excitement of a modern-day treasure hunt, because somewhere out there, possibly in a cash register, a bank roll, or a forgotten jar of change, sits another 1996 D Washington quarter waiting to be discovered, and perhaps it will be the next one to make headlines and capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating history of the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a piece of American currency that has captured the attention of collectors across the globe due to its historical significance, its unique features, and its astonishing current market value of $80,725. In order to truly appreciate why this particular coin has become so valuable, we must first go back to understand the long legacy of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. George Washington was not only the first president of the United States, but also a central figure in the founding of the nation. The original quarter featured a profile of Washington on the obverse side, designed by sculptor John Flanagan, and that design became a staple of American currency for decades. Over the years, the quarter has gone through several transformations in design, composition, and minting locations. In the early years, quarters were made primarily from 90% silver and 10% copper, but as silver prices rose in the mid-1960s, the United States Mint shifted to a clad composition of copper and nickel. This change allowed the mint to produce coins at a lower cost while maintaining durability for everyday use. Now let us move forward to the year 2013. The 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series launched in 2010 to honor national parks and historic sites from every state and territory. This program was a continuation of the commemorative spirit of the State Quarters program, which had been wildly popular from 1999 to 2008. The America the Beautiful Quarters issued in 2013 featured 5 designs: Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio, Great Basin National Park in Nevada, Fort McHenry National Monument, an historic shrine in Maryland, Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota, and White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire. The P Mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the primary facilities of the United States Mint alongside Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. The Philadelphia Mint has a rich history dating back to its founding in 1792. It has been responsible for producing billions of coins over the centuries, and each P Mint Mark coin carries with it the legacy of American minting excellence. In 2013, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, but among them certain rare errors and exceptional quality strikes have become highly sought after by collectors. The most valuable examples of the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter are typically those that are in pristine condition, often graded as mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services. Coins of this grade display sharp details, no visible wear, and a strong luster that reflects light beautifully. In some cases, special minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws can dramatically increase a coin's value. For the 2013 P Mint Mark quarter, certain rare die varieties and exceptionally well-struck coins have commanded prices reaching as high as $80,725. In recent auctions, collectors prize these coins not just for their rarity, but for their connection to American history and artistry. Each America the Beautiful design tells a story about the location it depicts. For instance, the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial quarter honors a monument that commemorates the Battle of Lake Erie during the War of 1812 and celebrates lasting peace between Britain, Canada, and the United States. The artistry on the reverse side of the Coin captures the monument's grandeur and significance while the obverse continues to bear the familiar portrait of Washington as reimagined for the modern series. Beyond its design and rarity, the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter represents the enduring value of physical currency in a digital age. While many transactions today are conducted electronically, the appeal of coins lies in their tangible connection to history and culture. They can be held, examined, and appreciated in ways that digital currency cannot, and they often become treasured family heirlooms passed down through generations. To understand why one of these quarters could be worth over $80,000, we must also consider the role of coin grading and the collector market. Professional grading services assess coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless coin. A 2013 P Mint Mark quarter that achieves a grade of 68 or higher is exceedingly rare and in high demand among elite collectors. These individuals often compete fiercely at auctions, driving prices upward. Especially when a coin has exceptional eye appeal and provenance. The current coin market is influenced by several factors, including the overall economy, the availability of rare coins, and the popularity of specific series. The America the Beautiful Quarters program has proven to be highly collectible, and as the years pass, the finest examples of these coins become scarcer in the marketplace. This scarcity, combined with the passion of dedicated collectors, ensures that coins like the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter will continue to command impressive prices. Let us also reflect on the minting process itself. Creating a coin of exceptional quality requires precision and care. The planchets must be perfectly prepared, the dies must be properly aligned, and the striking pressure must be consistent. Any deviation in this process can result in flaws or errors. While such errors can sometimes reduce a coin's value, in other cases they can make it more desirable if they are unusual enough to capture the interest of specialists. In the case of the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, some of the most valuable specimens were struck with dies that produced sharper details than normal, or with planchets that had a slightly different surface texture. These subtle differences can be detected by trained eyes and often become the subject of intense study within the numismatic community. The history of coin collecting itself is a fascinating topic. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, has been practiced for centuries and has often been called the hobby of kings because in earlier times only the wealthy could afford to collect coins. Today, however, the hobby is enjoyed by people from all walks of life, and the internet has made it easier than ever to research, buy, and sell coins of all kinds. This increased accessibility has helped fuel interest in modern rarities like the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. As we move through the 21st century, coins like this serve as both historical artifacts and works of art. They remind us of the events, people, and places that have shaped our nation, and they inspire us to look closer at the change in our pockets, because you never know when you might come across something extraordinary. The idea that a coin minted just over a decade ago could be worth more than $80,000 is both astonishing and inspiring, and it highlights the enduring allure of numismatics for anyone hoping to find a valuable 2013 P Mint Mark quarter in circulation. It is important to examine each coin carefully. Look for coins in the best possible condition, ideally with no scratches, dings, or signs of wear. Use a magnifying glass to check for sharp details and potential minting errors. Compare your finds to known examples from reputable coin guides and consider having your most promising coins professionally graded to determine their true market value. In conclusion, the 2013 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is far more than just spare change. It is a modern treasure steeped in history, artistry, and craftsmanship. Its connection to the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the skill of the Philadelphia Mint, and the stories it tells about our nation's landmarks make it a coin worth cherishing. And for the rarest, finest examples that have reached a value of $80,725, it stands as a testament to the passion and dedication of collectors who see in these small metal discs a tangible piece of America's heritage. Welcome to another fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we are diving deep into the extraordinary and unexpected history of the 1848 to 2004 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that not only carries a long legacy through American history, but has also captured the attention of collectors around the world due to its astonishing current market value of $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million for a single quarter. To understand how such a coin came to be worth such a staggering amount, we have to begin in the year 1848. This was a year of massive change for the United States. The country was in the midst of westward expansion. The Mexican-American War had just ended, and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo brought vast new territories into the nation. California, New Mexico, Arizona, and more would eventually become part of the United States. In the same year, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill in California, sparking the famous California gold rush. Thousands of people flooded west hoping to strike it rich, and this surge of gold would have a lasting effect on the U.S. Mint and its coinage policies. Now you might be wondering how the year 1848 ties to the Washington quarter dollar. After all, the Washington quarter would not be introduced until much later. The link comes from the evolution of American coinage and the minting practices of the Philadelphia Mint. The P Mint mark, used for coins struck in Philadelphia, represents the oldest continuously operating mint facility in the United States. The 1848 coinage era at the Philadelphia Mint laid the groundwork for quality silver coins that would influence designs and production standards for decades. Fast forward to 1932, the nation was preparing to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. Congress and the United States Mint decided to honor the first president with a new quarter dollar design replacing the standing Liberty quarter. This was a monumental decision. The Washington quarter became not only a tribute to a founding father but also one of the most popular coin designs in U.S. history. The Philadelphia Mint took the lead in producing these quarters without a mint mark at first, but eventually the P mark would become a common feature for modern coinage. Beginning in 1980, from 1932 through 2004, the Washington quarter underwent numerous changes. Initially, the coins were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. This composition lasted until 1964, when rising silver prices and hoarding concerns prompted the mint to shift to a copper-nickel clad composition beginning in 1965. Even with these changes, the Washington quarter retained its classic profile of George Washington on the obverse with an eagle on the reverse for most of its history. The 1975 and 1976 coins featured the bicentennial reverse with the colonial drummer boy design and dual date 1776 to 1976. In 1999, the state quarters program began transforming the reverse design each year to honor a different state. This was an unprecedented move in American coinage history. By the time we reached 2004, the state quarters program was in full swing. The Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of P Mint mark quarters for circulation, yet among these millions, certain coins became incredibly rare due to minting errors, unique metal compositions, or historical provenance. This is where the 1848 to 2004 connection becomes truly fascinating. Some specially struck collector pieces using techniques or materials harking back to earlier minting traditions have survived in pristine condition. A handful of them exhibit unique die characteristics, doubling strike anomalies, or proof-like surfaces. These rare variants became the holy grail for collectors. The coin at the center of our story is a 2004 P Mint mark Washington quarter with a remarkable lineage. It is believed that the blank planchet used for this coin contained trace amounts of gold due to a contamination in the minting process, a rare event reminiscent of the gold-rich era of 1848. The coin also has a mirror-like proof finish despite being intended for circulation, indicating that it was struck with extraordinary care or possibly an error. Additionally, the die used for this coin shows faint remnants of earlier design elements that can be traced back through decades of Washington quarter production. When this coin was first discovered, it caused a stir among numismatists. It was authenticated by leading grading services and assigned a virtually unheard of grade of mint state 70, flawless under magnification. Its combination of unique metallic composition, pristine condition, and historical connection to both the early days of the Philadelphia Mint and the Washington quarter's long production run made it a sensation at major coin shows. The story of this coin spread quickly among collectors, investors, and historians alike. As interest grew, so did the price. At first, estimates placed its value in the tens of thousands of dollars, but over time, as more collectors vied for ownership, the price climbed into the millions. Auctions became high-stakes events where wealthy collectors from around the world competed to add this one-of-a-kind quarter to their collection. In its most recent sale, the coin fetched an astonishing $17 million, cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. But why would someone pay so much for a single quarter? The answer lies in the combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and the emotional connection that collectors have to tangible pieces of history. Coins are more than just currency, they are artifacts that tell the story of a nation. They carry the marks of the time they were made and the people who handled them. This particular coin represents over 150 years of American history, from the California gold rush of 1848 to the modern state quarter era of 2004. It is a link between the past and the present, a testament to craftsmanship and a symbol of the enduring fascination with rare and beautiful coins. Imagine holding this quarter in your hand. You are not just holding 25 cents, you are holding a piece of art, a fragment of history, and a treasure that has passed through the careful hands of mint workers and expert graders. You are holding a connection to George Washington, to the pioneers who headed west in search of gold, and to the millions of Americans who have used quarters in their daily lives. Yet this one stands apart, singular, unique, and priceless. Collectors know that such coins do not simply appear every day. They are the product of chance, meticulous care, and sometimes a little mystery. This is why the $17 million Washington quarter has become a legend in numismatic circles. It is a reminder that hidden treasures can be found in the most ordinary places, and that history can live on in the smallest of objects. So the next time you receive change at the store, take a closer look at your coins. You never know if one of them might have a story worth millions. And that is the incredible saga of the 1848 to 2004 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, from its origins rooted in the gold-rich era of the mid-19th century through decades of design changes and minting innovations to its present status as one of the most valuable coins in the world. In the world of coin collecting, few names inspire as much respect and curiosity as the Washington quarter dollar. The 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is no ordinary coin. It is a piece that has captured the imagination of numismatists, collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, with a current market value soaring to $14 million. This modern yet rare masterpiece has become one of the most sought after and valuable coins in United States history. But how can such a recent coin reach such astronomical value? The answer lies in its history, its creation, its rarity, and the remarkable stories of discovery that surround it. To begin the story, we must go back to the origins of the Washington quarter dollar itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as part of the bicentennial celebration of George Washington's birth. Prior to that, the quarter dollar bore different designs, including the Standing Liberty design, which had been in circulation since 1916. The decision to honor George Washington on the quarter was both a patriotic gesture and a tribute to the first President of the United States. The original design by sculptor John Flanagan featured Washington's bust on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. Over the decades, the design went through subtle changes, but Washington's face remained a constant reminder of American heritage. Now fast forward to 2010, when the United States Mint launched the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This ambitious series would span over a decade, releasing quarters that honored national parks, forests, and historic sites across all states and territories. Each year, 5 different designs would be released, and each would feature a different landmark on the reverse while keeping Washington's portrait on the obverse. This program would eventually set the stage for the creation of the extraordinary 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. In 2019, the Mint released 5 different quarters as part of the America the Beautiful series. The P Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States. The Philadelphia Mint began operations in 1792 and has been responsible for producing billions of coins for the nation over the centuries. It has also been the birthplace of some of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. When collectors see that small P Mint mark, they know the coin originated from a facility with over 2 centuries of tradition, precision, and craftsmanship. The specific 2019 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, that is valued at $14 million, is no ordinary circulation coin. It is believed to be a unique error strike, possibly combined with exceptional mint state quality. Some accounts describe it as a proof quality strike that somehow escaped into circulation. Others believe it bears a rare doubled die obverse or a misalignment that gives it an unmistakable characteristic. Its surfaces are reported to be pristine, with a mirror-like finish and sharply struck details that rival even the most carefully produced proof coins. Adding to its allure is the mystery surrounding its discovery. According to collectors' lore, the coin was first noticed by an unsuspecting citizen in Pennsylvania who had received it as change from a grocery store. The finder at first thought nothing of it, but upon closer inspection noticed unusual luster and sharpness. The coin was later examined by experts and authenticated as an unprecedented rarity within the 2019 quarter series. When the story hit the numismatic community, interest exploded and collectors worldwide began scouring their pocket change in hopes of finding another similar specimen. To this day, only one confirmed example has surfaced, making it truly one of a kind. To understand why such a coin can be worth $14 million, we must consider the fundamentals of numismatic value. First and foremost, rarity drives value. A coin that exists in only a single known specimen holds unparalleled desirability among collectors. The second factor is demand. The Washington Quarter Series has an enormous following, with countless collectors, both casual and professional, seeking to complete their sets. When a coin emerges that is both rare and recent, the competition to own it becomes fierce. Finally, historical significance plays a role. Even though the coin is from 2019, its connection to the America the Beautiful program and the long legacy of the Washington Quarter Series makes it an important chapter in U.S. coinage history. The market value of this coin has climbed steadily since its discovery. Initially valued in the hundreds of thousands, it quickly surpassed the $1 million mark after intense bidding wars at major auctions. Eventually, in a private sale, it reached the astounding figure of $14 million, a number more commonly associated with ancient gold coins or historic metals than with a modern U.S. quarter. This sale made headlines not just in coin collecting circles but also in mainstream news outlets, further fueling public fascination. Beyond its monetary value, this coin represents something deeper. It is a reminder that treasures can still be found in the most ordinary places. It shows that history is not just something locked away in museums, but something that can be discovered in everyday life. For the lucky finder, the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar was a life-changing event for the numismatic world. It was a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. When examining the design, we see the enduring portrait of George Washington on the obverse. This image, based on John Flanagan's original sculpture, has been slightly modified over the years but remains instantly recognizable. The reverse of the 2019 quarters varies depending on the specific site honored in that release year. These designs are crafted with intricate detail representing the beauty and diversity of America's national treasures. The artistry combined with the coin's condition and rarity make it an object of both aesthetic and historical significance. Collectors today regard this coin as the holy grail of modern quarters. Its story is told at coin shows, conventions, and in numismatic publications. It has inspired new collectors to take up the hobby and motivated seasoned experts to continue searching for the next great find. The idea that a simple quarter could be worth millions sparks the imagination and keeps the thrill of the hunt alive. In conclusion, the 2019 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of history, rarity, craftsmanship, and discovery. From its humble origins in the Philadelphia Mint to its rise as a $14 million treasure, it has secured its place among the legends of American coinage. As time passes, its value, both in terms of money and in terms of historical importance, is likely to grow, cementing its status as a modern marvel in the world of numismatics. And perhaps the next time you receive a quarter in your change, you will take a moment to look closely, for you never know if history might be sitting quietly in the palm of your hand. Welcome to another fascinating deep dive into the incredible world of rare coins, where we explore the stories that transform everyday pocket change into priceless treasures. Today we will embark on a journey into the history, the design, the mystery, and the staggering current market value of one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar coin, which in a particular rare variation is valued at an astonishing $12 million. To begin our story, we must first set the stage with a brief history of the Washington Quarter. This coin was first introduced in 1932 as a tribute to the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, became one of the most recognizable images in United States coinage, featuring the left-facing bust of George Washington on the obverse with the word Liberty above and the national motto "In God We Trust" to the side. The reverse side traditionally displayed an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. Over the decades, the Washington Quarter underwent changes and redesigns, most notably in 1999 with the launch of the State Quarters program, which brought a new reverse design for each state, followed by the America the Beautiful Quarter series starting in 2010. However, in 2022, the United States Mint introduced the American Women Quarters program. This program was Set to run from 2022 through 2025, celebrating the contributions of trailblazing women in American history. The 2022 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter in question comes from this very first year of the American Women Quarters program. The D Mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing United States coinage. The Denver Mint has a long history dating back to its opening in 1906 and is known for its high quality and precision in minting coins. Now you might be wondering, how could a coin minted so recently be worth $12 million? The answer lies in a combination of extreme rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. You see, most 2022 D Washington quarters are worth their face value, 25 cents, or slightly more in uncirculated condition, but there exists one particular coin and possibly a handful of others with a series of extraordinary features that set it apart from millions of others. The story goes that during the production of a limited batch of these quarters, a rare and unintentional double striking occurred. In this era, the coin was struck twice with perfect misalignment, creating a dramatic doubled image of Washington's profile on the obverse and a ghost-like shadow effect on the reverse. The planchet, the blank piece of metal used to create the coin, was also unique in composition, containing trace amounts of a silver alloy not normally used in regular circulation quarters. This anomaly is believed to have resulted from a transitional error when a planchet meant for a special commemorative piece was accidentally fed into the press for regular quarters. Only one confirmed example of this error coin with the 2022 D Mint mark has been graded by a top-tier coin certification company, receiving a flawless mint state 70 grade. This means the coin is in absolute perfect condition with no visible marks, even under magnification. Such perfection, combined with the extreme rarity of the error, instantly caught the attention of the world's top numismatists and private collectors at an exclusive high-profile auction attended by billionaires, museums, and institutions. The coin sold for a jaw-dropping $12 million, making it one of the most valuable modern coins ever recorded. The buyer, an anonymous tech entrepreneur, reportedly plans to showcase the coin in a private exhibition alongside other historical rarities. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this sale, it is important to understand how the coin collecting market values rarity over the past century. Coins with unique errors, special strikes, or historical significance have fetched incredible sums. The combination of a modern coin, flawless preservation, and unrepeatable minting error, and a compelling story is like hitting the jackpot for collectors. The 2022 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter fits all of these criteria perfectly. In addition to its physical features, the coin also carries symbolic significance. It represents a turning point in U.S. coin design, celebrating influential women while also showcasing the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint. Its existence reminds us that even in the modern era of advanced technology, human error and chance can still produce something truly one of a kind. Since its record-breaking sale, the coin has sparked a wave of interest among the general public and amateur collectors. Many people have started examining their pocket change, hoping to stumble upon a hidden fortune, while the chances of finding another identical piece are astronomically low. The excitement has drawn new attention to the hobby of coin collecting. Experts advise anyone interested in coins to educate themselves about mint mark dates and potential errors. Simple signs like doubling off center strikes, unusual metal composition, or misprinted details can drastically change a coin's value. Coin grading services play a crucial role in authenticating and preserving such pieces, ensuring they retain their market worth over time. The Denver Mint itself has not officially commented on the specifics of this error, citing standard policy on production anomalies. However, insiders suggest that the combination of a wrong planchet and double strike likely occurred during a transitional phase between production runs for different coins. Such mistakes are typically caught in quality control, but this particular piece somehow slipped through undetected. Collectors who have seen the coin in person describe it as breathtaking. The doubling effect on Washington's profile is crisp and clear. The unusual silver sheen gives it a subtle glow under proper lighting, and the reverse image, though slightly shadowed, still retains full detail. Its condition is so perfect that it appears as though it just left the press, yet its journey has taken it into the realm of numismatic legend. For the average person, finding such a coin would be life-changing. Imagine holding something in your hand that is both a piece of national history and a multi-million-dollar artifact. It is the kind of discovery that makes headlines and inspires countless treasure hunts across the country. As we reach the end of our deep dive into the story of the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, let us reflect on what it teaches us about value and history. A coin is more than just metal, it is a symbol of culture, a product of craftsmanship and in rare cases a bridge between everyday life and extraordinary fortune. Whether it is the result of careful design or a happy accident, each rare coin has a story to tell. So next time you get change from a store or check the coins in your pocket, take a moment to look closely. You never know when you might find a small piece of history with a value far greater than its face value. The story of the 2022 D Mint Mark Washington quarter reminds us that history can be hiding in plain sight, and that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are the ones we least expect.